Nobody is going to feel bad for the team. They had to stay together. They had to keep a positive mindset, and not just amongst the team, Musso, but also Coach O. He's been through adversity. He's been at coaches shows where people were really critical of him, where the fan base has been really, really upset, really, really mad, and he's rallied some teams. And frankly, he's rallied some teams with a lot less talent than this LSU squad has. So that is encouraging. I would say that that's, not a surprise. Of course, guys are stepping up and trying to take more of a leadership role, but after what we saw last year, I don't think that's something that we can take for granted. It is nice to see them care. It is nice to see them hold these players-only meetings, and hopefully they get through, Musso, because a lot of it was on the coaches. Yes, they were clearly out-schemed and out-coached by Chip Kelly and UCLA, but a lot of it also, I think, was on the players. They had to bring more effort, they had to have a better energy, and they had to play more together as a team. Hopefully these small signs from Damone Clark and Andre Anthony play a part in starting to do that.
So something that's been often discussed, and now we can kind of move on a little bit while we have a little bit of time left in this segment, Mario, is what you're looking for this week. I mean, I know we'll get into more of that tomorrow, but everyone's looking at the offensive line of scrimmage and the run game. And Coach O, this is going to be number 4, from his radio show last night, talked about not only the offensive line, but the defensive line, and questioned their physicality and said they need more of it.
We need to play better. We need to be more physical. I thought our defensive ends did a good job rushing the passer. I thought our tackles did not play very well, and they got blocked. There was a lot of their gaps. And I think our offensive line has sometimes made some good plays, but we need to be more physical. We need to come out off the ball, and we need to have more of a variety of the run game.
Yeah, they do. They especially along the defensive line, man. I was really disappointed to see guys like Ali Gay just get washed and get blown up off the ball. They need to bring it. Like I said on our prior show, Musso, I'd like to see some of the younger guys get snaps, especially Mason Smith, who when he was in there against UCLA, I thought he really made an impact. I thought he made had some really good reps. Didn't get a sack, but at least forced at least a couple from what I saw. So I don't know exactly what I want to see tactically, stat-wise. All I really want to see is LSU come out, play with energy, play with confidence, smoke these guys, and get some of the backups, some more snaps in the second half. I just mentioned a couple of defensive players, including Mason Smith, but it'd be nice to see Garrett Nussmeier after everything that we've talked about, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's a granted for sure thing that he's going to play. That's how disappointed I was with LSU's effort last week. They might want to still get Max Johnson those reps later on in the game, but it'd be nice to get Nussmeier in there, and it'd be nice to LSU just to come out, get a big win on the scoreboard, get some confidence, and hopefully play better going forward in the season, because the next week, Central Michigan is a pretty decent opponent, although they're a smaller named school, and then you get into SEC play. So got to have a good showing against McNeese State. Not sure exactly what I want to see, but I want to see a much better result on the scoreboard, and I want to see as many guys on LSU get reps as possible.
The Chippewas. I want to see you beat them by about 50. I'll go ahead and say that. Maybe you don't learn anything, but it'd just be nice to see. You mentioned Garrett Nussmeier. You said you don't know if it's going to be a 100% sure thing. You don't want to say that. You don't have to. Coach O said it for you last night.
I plan on playing Garrett. I don't know when he's going to go in the game, but he's definitely going to get a chance to play against McNeese.
I don't know when, but he's definitely going to play. I mean, that's about as sure of a thing as you can get from Coach O, and he won't be the only one. I know earlier in the week, I believe it was on. You know what? It might have been his. It was either. I think it might have been. No, it was his press conference. It was a weekly press conference on Tuesday this week. He also mentioned Corey Kiner. They wanted to put Corey in Saturday, but couldn't justify in the close game doing it. You're going to see Corey Kiner this weekend as well. A couple guys you won't see that Coach O confirmed last night on his radio show. One is John Emery. Now, John Emery's still probably not going to be eligible to play, and Jay Ward is going to be out as well. Those were guys on Tuesday that Coach O said he'd know more later in the week. I guess he knows more now and confirmed last night on his radio show that both of those guys will miss the game versus the McNeese State Cowboys. Let's go ahead and grab a break. Mario, come back because we have a lot to dive into as the NFL season kicks off tonight. Cowboys visiting the Buccaneers. That'll be on NBC Thursday Night Football. We're going to preview that game, tell you what we like from it from a betting standpoint. The line has grown. The total has stayed the same. Tom Brady is beginning his 22nd year in the NFL tonight, which honestly just sounds even more absurd when you say it out loud. We'll dive into that game and a little bit of Saints as well next as we kick off the NFL season on Early Line 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Mario and Musso, the Early Line. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of OSSIE Brown.
At the law office of OSSIE Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials.
Join us for a Football Friday edition of Hunt and Hill. We'll have Lisa Ann talking fantasy football in week 1, Sharif Ishak on Saints and Packers, and wrapping up our prep for LSU and McNeese. Join us noon to 2 weekdays, Hunt and Hill on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Early Line with Mario and Musso, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The 2021 NFL season will kick off tonight. The Dallas Cowboys at the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 7:20 kickoff. tonight on NBC as Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth will slide back into our lives, Musso. I am so excited.
The Collinsworth slide is a tradition unlike any other, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, as you should be. This is going to be an entertaining matchup, in my opinion. I'm starting Tom Brady in fantasy football tonight. I know Taylor is too. So very brief fantasy football thought of the day today is start Tom Brady if you can. I think he's going to have a lot of success against this Cowboys defense. The Bucs are favored in this one. Line all the way up to 9, Musso. Started at 7.5 at the beginning of the week. It is now up to -9 in favor of Tampa Bay. The over-under in this one is 52 as of right now. The Bucs favored on the money line -475. The Cowboys on the money line plus money at +350. And storylines abound in this one, Musso. You mentioned Tom Brady. He's trying to go back-to-back Super Bowl champions and lead this team to another ring and become the first team to do that since his Patriots did it back in the early 2000s. The Buccaneers enter the season with the second shortest odds to win the Super Bowl, and they're the heavy preseason pick in the NFC at 3-1. And also, they'll have their fans behind them, and that's significant because we did not have the fans at all last season. And it's going to be really nice for Tampa Bay fans who just saw their team go to the Super Bowl in their home city, but not really able to enjoy it as much as they should have with COVID. But none of that tonight. It will be a packed house, and it should be a good game.
It should be, and I'm very excited for it for a couple of reasons. Number one is I want to see how the Buccaneers handle expectation. And again, that might be scoffed at a little bit because they have Tom Brady, and that's true. And Tom's going to put on a master class at handling expectation, but it's a little different than last year. I mean, everyone knew when Tom went there that, okay, the Buccaneers are going to be really good. They're going to be really good pretty fast. But I don't know. Of course, some people were like, oh, they're going to win the Super Bowl. But that really wasn't the consensus. I mean, keep in mind, the Saints were still the favorite to win the division last year, and they did. They were thought as the second best team in the division last year. Especially, I think the expectation, Mario, kind of went by the wayside a little bit with how their season started. But they came on so strong at the end. Now everyone expects them to at least be in the Super Bowl. Some people think this team is good enough to win all 17 games in the regular season, which, I mean, honestly, that's kind of the one thing missing from Tom Brady's resume is to complete the perfect season. Came very close, but hasn't done it. All 22 starters back. How do they handle the target on their back now? Not just in the NFC, but in the entire NFL. You'll get your first look at that tonight. Something else I'm very, very anxious to see is Dak Prescott. I mean, I think that's a source of a lot of optimism for people on the Cowboys this year. I still have a lot of questions about their defense. It wasn't a great unit last year. Now they hired Dan Quinn. How's that really going to play out for them? I'm not sure, so I'm very skeptical there. But Dak Prescott coming back, how long does it take him to get comfortable again? He hasn't played since the severe ankle injury. He didn't play in the preseason. He had that shoulder soreness or whatever it was, and they were very cautious with him, and understandably so. But you hear so much from so many different guys about you got to get out there and really feel how comfortable you are moving on an ankle or a knee before you can really go full speed. And him going up against that Tampa Bay defense, they're probably not going to be able to run the ball a little as much as they'd like, even with Ezekiel Elliott. How long does it take Dak to get back into, supreme Dak confidence mode on that repaired ankle?
Yeah, they have potential to have a really explosive offense, man. And Las Vegas really likes Dak. They think that he's going to bounce back in a big way. He has the 4th shortest MVP odds going into the season, and he's the favorite to win Comeback Player of the Year at +200. But before I give my thoughts on Dallas, I do want to talk a little bit more about Tom Brady and build on what you were saying about the Buccaneers possibly picking up where they left off last season. Because as you said in the beginning, they did not look great, including 2 losses to the Saints, one of them in blowout fashion at home in Tampa Bay. But they start 7-5. And then in the final month of the season, listen to Brady's stats, 22 touchdowns with 4 interceptions, and that's at 43 years old. And can they handle the expectation? I think they can because of who's leading them, man. And that's just what Tom Brady's doing on the field. But the impact that he's had off the field, in my opinion, even on the defense and their ability to be clutch, and some of the guys on that side of the ball, like Levante David and Jason Pierre-Paul and others who stepped up as leaders who did not before for that football team, did do that with Tom Brady. So I think that they do pick up where they left off. I see why Las Vegas loves Tom Brady, who has the 4th shortest odds to win MVP, and I think they smoked Dallas tonight.
It's like what happened in the playoffs last year, though, right? You talk about handling expectation after the NFC Championship. I think it might have been Devin White, I think, who told this story, or maybe Levante David. I'm not sure which one it was anymore, but about, guys, they were crying after winning the NFC Championship, and Tom Brady's like, "What the hell are you crying for? This trophy's meaningless. The trophy we're going for in 2 weeks, that's the one you want. Quit crying. You haven't won anything yet." So I do agree with you that, yes, having that guy lead your team, handling expectation, seems like it could be bigger. Tom was the quarterback, the leader of the team, who was last to repeat as Super Bowl champion. But do they get off to a bit of a slower start, maybe? I don't think so. I mean, I think the Buccaneers are going to be in the Super Bowl, probably against the Kansas City Chiefs. I know that's very chalky. If there's something else I like against, it'd be Buccaneers-Bills. But how is there any kind of a hangover at all to start before Tom reels them back in and says, "Guys, the Super Bowl was last year. We haven't won anything this year"?
We'll see. Some of these guys are just built different. You can tell with their comments, man. Nick Saban at his press conference, Tom Brady telling the guys not to cry, Joe Burrow during the run. You can tell some of these guys. You can see their greatness. It's very apparent. Let's talk a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys, who are the away team in this game. They also started last season really bad, 2-7, and then they rally a little bit to have a shot at winning the very weak NFC East. Did not do so, but a lot of people are really high on their offense coming into this season. They averaged just a hair under 33 points a game, 32.6 points per game between weeks 1 and 5 last season when they were healthy, when Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott were playing. And again, I love what they've done at wide receiver in recent years. CeeDee Lamb had a great season last year, over 900 receiving yards, with Andy Dalton throwing the ball most of the time. Amari Cooper is a great player as well. They get a healthy Ezekiel Elliott. And again, if Dak is healthy, if his health is good, because there's a lot of question marks in kind of his durability, but if his health is good, I see this Dallas Cowboys offense putting up a lot of numbers this season. I still have a lot of questions about their defense, mainly playing Keanu Neal at Mike linebacker. That's something that I noticed before, and I know Keanu Neal had a lot of success for Dan Quinn with his Atlanta teams, but still some question marks with Dallas's linebackers. And they have a couple really good young players, Randy Gregory along the defensive line. We were just talking about the fact that they drafted Jabril Cox out of LSU, but I still think they have a lot of work to do there. I think Dallas has a really good offense, but their defense might prevent them from winning the division, and in my opinion, will for sure prevent them from winning this game.
Jabril Cox had a really nice preseason with the Dallas Cowboys as well. The first 2 games, he didn't play the third game, but the first 2 games, he led the team in tackles. So he was all over the field. You might want to keep an eye on Jabril Cox tonight. It's going to be a bit of a heavy LSU presence in this game tonight. Jabril, Devin White, you have Leonard Fournette. So I mean, plenty of guys to keep an eye on and from that aspect as well here locally. What do we think of the line, Mario? We've kind of, look, we talked to Raphael about this on Tuesday. We talked to Mincy about it yesterday. I know Raphael just was like, man, look, in Tom Brady we trust. Don't ever go against Tom. And he's not the only one thinking that. As we mentioned at the top of the segment, the line started at 7.5. It's up to 9, even 9.5 in some places. Many people riding the Buccaneers. I do think they can cover that number. I know people get a little squirmish in the NFL when a line gets better than a touchdown, and especially when it gets better than 2 scores. But Tampa Bay, with all the firepower that they have back on offense, whether it be Chris Godwin, whether it be Mike Evans, whether it be Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, everybody they have back there, and the defense, which arguably is going to be one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL, I see them being able to cover that spread, especially with Dallas's problems on defense. But the under, Mario, whether it's 51.5, 52, whichever total you're looking at, the under is the play that I really like. I could see this being somewhere like a 24-14, 31-14 type game tonight where you hit both the spread and the total.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a good play, Musa. We share that opinion. I like the Bucs to cover here, even with the line inflated the way it is. I think they're just going to come out on fire, not just because of all the variables that you mentioned, but again, they're at home. That fan base is going to be so pumped up, so excited to welcome the team back. This is kind of like an informal celebration. Yeah, they had the championship parade, but this is obviously the first time that they're playing there at home, where they won the Super Bowl, by the way, in front of their home fans. I think they smoke them. I think Tampa Bay starts this game really fast, play a little bit more ball control, run the ball in the second half. to where this under will play out. But I think Tampa Bay wins, and I think they cover. The Cowboys on the road against the defending champion Buccaneers tonight, 7:20 kickoff on NBC.
And they'll be without Dallas will be without All-Pro right guard Zach Martin, who will be out for this game. Tested positive for COVID-19 about 5 days ago. He's in the protocol. You'll have a 3-year pro taking his spot, and against this Tampa Bay defensive front, you really won't be losing too many All-Pro offensive linemen.
Yes, Mario Jerez alongside Matt Musso here on a Thursday edition of Early Line. We'll come back and give you some underdog picks for Week 2 of the college football season and Week 1 of the NFL. We will let the dogs out. Coming up next here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Early Line with Mario and Musso. 104.5 ESPN. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
In the sunshine, everybody loves the sunshine.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of OSSIE Brown.
At the law office of OSSIE Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Welcome back. We've missed you. We know it's been tough. Because rebuilding your business isn't for the faint of heart. Your business needs a jump start. And we're here to help. Introducing Surge, symmetrical speed fiber internet from eTel Business. Revved up data speeds at 30% off, plus 3 months free. We're glad you're back, and we're here to make your business surge.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your...
Coming up on a Thursday edition of Early Line, we give out some underdog picks for Week 1 of the NFL season and Week 2 of college football. We also look ahead to the NFL season opener between the Bucs and the Cowboys. Join us, 2 p.m., 104.5 ESPN.
Early Line with Mario and Musso, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here on Early Line, we're going to give out some underdog picks here in a moment. Just kind of refresher on how this segment is going to work weekly. We'll do it on Thursdays, either 2:15 or 2:30. And last week we did 2 college picks, but that's because the NFL didn't start. What we're going to do is 1 NFL, 1 college each week. Keep track of it the whole season. See how we come out in it. Has to be an underdog. That's really the only requirement. We didn't put it has to be at least a field goal or anything. We didn't do anything like that, but they have to at least be an underdog in their game. Last week, 2-0 for me on the week. Gave out Fresno State plus 20.5 versus Oregon. They covered that. And Bowling Green plus 36.5 versus Tennessee. They covered that as well. Barely, but they did get it done. Mario, you want to recap your last week real quick before we get into it?
Yes, I went 1-1. I faded Texas against ULL, and obviously the Longhorns won that one by a wide margin, so took an L there. But we did get a W with Maryland plus 2.5 versus West Virginia. The Terrapins won outright at home, so I was 1-1 on our first week for underdogs.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it right now. These are our underdog plays of the week. Mario, I'll go ahead and get us started. And I would like to say that I really hated this slate of college football. None of them really jumped off the page to me at all,
Fair.
But had to have one for the segment. So here we go. I picked a game because, honestly, it's funny, but the teams are going to match up well, and it works out. Vanderbilt's going to Colorado State this week.
Oh, my God.
Both of these teams are coming off losses to FCS teams. Vandy lost at home by 23-3 to East Tennessee, and Colorado State lost 42-23 at home to South Dakota State. Excuse me. Colorado State is 1-4 in their last 5 against the spread, and these teams in Week 1 played polar opposite games. Vandy's offense outside of the mid-range passing game was terrible. 3 turnovers total on offense, and not much from quarterback Ken Seals. He threw 2 interceptions and was held below 200 yards passing. The Doors defense actually played pretty well, though, holding Eastern Tennessee to under 150 yards passing and under 200 yards rushing. Colorado State's offense, this is where the polar opposite comes in. They were on fire, moving the ball pretty much at will, but they didn't convert enough touchdowns in that game. Their defense was shredded against both the run and the pass, giving up 200-plus yards each, Mario, to South Dakota State. Something has to give in this game, whether it be Vanderbilt's offense versus a bad Colorado State defense or Colorado State's great offense versus a bad Vanderbilt defense. In today's college football, I always lean a little bit more towards offense. So both of these teams, not good. Don't really see either of them pulling away. Vanderbilt will need more from their offensive line, and they'll be going up against the Colorado State front that didn't record a single sack and only had 3 tackles for a loss against an FCS team. I think they can get more from their offensive line. I like Vanderbilt plus the 7 on the road against Colorado State. We'll see how that one goes.
All right, we like it. Let's go Doors. For my college underdog pick this week, I like Arkansas plus 2.5 at home against the Texas Longhorns. And I know, Musso, we got burned last week, or I got burned.
You're fading them again.
Whenever I faded the Longhorns, but I'm going to do it again. Hudson Card, the freshman quarterback, is getting a lot of praise, but he's still kind of an unknown. And I like the possibility of Barry Odom, who's one of the great defensive coordinators in the conference, game planning against him. I think they'll do a better job against Bijan Robinson than the Raging Cajuns did last week. They could not contain him at all as he went for 176 yards. I think Arkansas is a much more physical team coached by Sam Pittman. Of course, they're going to be. And I know Arkansas looked awful last week for 3 quarters, Musso, but They did get it together in the fourth quarter when they shut out Rice to cover in that game. That was one of my picks last week. Thank you very much. And this is a new week. I think Arkansas comes out inspired at home. This is the first time Texas is going to Arkansas since 2004. The Longhorns lost that game, by the way. And this is Arkansas's first home sellout since 2017. So they're going to be really pumped up down there in Fayetteville, calling the Hogs. And we should mention that Bumper Poole, the star linebacker for Arkansas, will miss the first half of this game thanks to the very dumb targeting calls in college football. But Grant Morgan, who was also ejected for targeting in that game, was ejected in the first quarter. So he will play in this game. And Jalen Catalon, the safety for the Razorbacks, is emerging as one of the best safeties in the SEC, if not in college football. He's drawing a lot of praise, had a key interception for the Razorbacks last week. And the last thing I'll say is that the Razorbacks are 7-3 against the spread as an underdog under Sam Pittman. Not many people like the Razorbacks in this matchup, but I do. Give me Arkansas plus 2.5 at home against the Texas Longhorns.
It's going to get interesting tomorrow in our pick segment because I will also have a play on Texas and Arkansas. Switch it up. Go to the NFL. First time we'll include the NFL in our underdog segments. I'm going to Hotlanta. Eagles at Falcons. 2 first-time head coaches facing off in this game. Philly finally expected now to take the next step on offense. Supposed to be a little bit more explosive, Mario. They've improved their receiving core, and they even improved their running game. Their backfield got bolstered, and oh, by the way, Jalen Hurts, that guy can run the football a little bit. Ask the New Orleans Saints. Jalen Hurts is the guy for now, and many question his ability to pass the football, myself included. However, the Atlanta Falcons, they ranked dead last, Mario, dead last, 32 of 32 in the NFL last season in pass defense, giving up an average of 293.6 yards per game. Obviously, you think they'd go address that in the draft. No, they took a tight end with the 4th overall pick. Anyway, Atlanta's going to Atlanta. If there was ever a team for Jalen Hurts to kind of ease into passing the ball, it's the Atlanta Falcons. The Philly defense, though, that's what gives me a little pause. They need to improve, especially on the back end. And when you look at the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to be a very pass-heavy team. Obviously, you still have Matt Ryan. Many think he's got a couple years left before he really hits that wall. But what makes them even more pass-happy this year is their backfield is really bad. They're very, very thin at running back are the Atlanta Falcons. You have Calvin Ridley. You have Kyle Pitts. They have weapons on the outside. So can Philly's defense, the back end, hold up enough? I'm hoping so because Atlanta will be so one-dimensional. You know you're going to be able to stop the run, play the pass. Hopefully that's enough. Also, turnovers. Philly's got to cut down on the turnovers. Way too many of them last year. But ultimately, I don't trust the Falcons' defense. You know that if you listen to one of our segments when we talked about their win total. Why are people expecting them to go over their win total? Their defense isn't good. I know they lost a lot of close games. I think maybe they win a close game this time, but the key is it's close. Give me the Eagles plus 3.5 on the road in Atlanta versus the Falcons.
My NFL underdog pick for this week is the Jets. Jets, Jets. +4 at the Carolina Panthers. And a lot of people are pumping up the Panthers big time coming into this year, Musso, especially their offense. But I think it's the offense on the other side that can trigger an upset here. Zach Wilson has looked really good in the preseason. Not a lot of people have been talking about it. Not just that, but I think the Jets have really done a nice job upgrading just their talent on offense. And I think Zach Wilson already from the first game has much more to work with than Sam Darnold and Adam Gase did during their time in New York. They add Corey Davis from the Titans. They draft Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss, the wide receiver. Michael Carter was a 12,000-yard back in North Carolina last year, and you can tell the Tar Heels are already missing him. He's an underrated rookie running back, in my opinion. And they signed Mike LaFleur as their first-year offensive coordinator. A lot of people will see his last name and think, oh, he only got that job because of who his brother is, LaFleur, the head coach of the Packers. But he's done a really good job the last 3 seasons as a San Francisco 49ers pass game coordinator under Kyle Shanahan. So I see that offense having some success. And I also think the Jets have an underrated offensive line that's starting to improve just a little bit. Mekhi Becton is a second-year player, a first-round pick from last year that'll have his hands full with Brian Burns from the Panthers, but I think he can step up. I think Wilson can do just enough damage for the Jets to pull this upset on the road against the Panthers. And then on the other side of the ball, Musso, we need to consider that the Panthers are going to be without their starting right guard, John Miller, who's out due to COVID protocols, and we'll see if the Jets can eat there, take advantage with their interior defensive line. They're really going to miss Carl Lawson, who's on IR and will miss the rest of the season. But you still have Quinnen Williams. You still have Sheldon Rankins, who they signed from the New Orleans Saints. And I think they can have some success against this very pedestrian Panthers offensive line. Also, CJ Mosley is back this year. I know he's really injury prone. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? But this game and coming into this year, the former Alabama linebacker will be on the field for the Jets. I have a lot of faith in Robert Saleh as a defensive coach. I am feeling bold today, Musso. Give me the Jets and the points, and give me the Jets money line as well at plus 190.
Oh, Jets outright. Okay. Yes. Fireman Ed over here to my right.
Fireman Mario, baby.
Jets, Jets. Mario, really, you like the big green up there, the Jets. All right, interesting. Recap here. Vanderbilt +7 at Colorado State. What will be a pillow fight between two teams who lost to FCS opponents last week. Will say the confidence not super high in that pick. Much more confident with the second pick I gave out. Eagles +3.5 on the road in Atlanta versus the Falcons on Sunday. Vandy +7, Eagles +3.5 for me.
And I like the Panthers, or I like the Jets, +4 on the road against the Panthers. And I like Arkansas in college football +2.5 at home against the Texas Longhorns.
Those are our underdog plays of the week. Mario, before we get to break, we have a couple minutes here. I did want to talk about something that I know we talked about a little bit, just kind of not really like a major prep topic for us, but something we just came across earlier today, and that's comeback player of the year in the NFL. And Jameis Winston, his odds, +1,000. And that could be a really nice payout. That seems like it's still really high because I know at least I'm expecting a pretty big year out of Jameis. We gave out the stat earlier a few weeks ago. Whenever Jameis has played a full season at quarterback, he's never failed to throw for less than 4,000 yards in one of those seasons. Expect that trend to continue if Jameis does indeed stay healthy. And if he does, the Saints adding Bradley Roby, if they win the division somehow and Jameis puts up those numbers, you set some money down on +1,000. You might be pretty happy at the end of the NFL season.
I think that's great value. I'll candidly say I'm probably going to put some money on it. I mean, ahead of Jameis Winston, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys: Carson Wentz, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, who's tied with Joe Burrow for second best, and then Dak Prescott, who we already mentioned at +200. I think that's a great play. Not only that, but history also on Jameis' side, and the fact that Drew Brees, in his first year starting for the Saints, did win this award with Sean Payton as his head coach. And he did not really have the talent, the infrastructure, the kind of system that the Saints already had put into place. Jameis needs to go out there and show he can do it. Again, I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. I'm cautiously optimistic. But if you are a believer in Jameis Winston and the fact that he can cut down some turnovers possibly, this could be a really good play. Jameis Winston winning comeback player of the year in the NFL with 10-1 odds.
We'll grab a break, come back, more picks next as Tyler Moody joins the show to take a look at tonight's MLB slate. Stick around. It's Early Line, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
The Early Line, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. The NFL kicks off. Mike Triplett, Sean Salisbury, our Fantasy Blitz. Join us Thursday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time.
Early Line with Mario and Musso, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Sounds of a better time here in Baton Rouge. Mario Jerez alongside Matt Musso, wrapping up a Thursday edition of Early Line with some Major League Baseball picks. And for that, we welcome on Tyler Moody, who is red hot after a 3-0 night last night. We had the St. Louis money line against the LA Dodgers which hit. We had the Brew Crew Milwaukee money line hits against the Phillies, and the Blue Jays win at the Yankees. Tyler, how are you?
I would like to.
I'm not doing so bad today, guys. We got a lead in our fantasy baseball championship.
Oh.
And we went 3-0 last night. It was a good night. Adam Wainwright was very good. It was a solid night for us across the board. And hopefully we can keep it rolling for you guys again here today.
The ageless wonder, Adam Wainwright, he seems to be this year. And I would like to personally express gratitude to the Toronto Blue Jays. Thank you. You have given the Red Sox the top wild card spot back in the American League. You are a hero to the people.
Man, they're better than their record indicates too. I think they're one of the best teams in all of baseball, and I think they're going to be great for years to come. Obviously, they haven't realized all their full potential just yet, but they're taking care of business, especially for your Red Sox.
It's the best young lineup in baseball, that's for sure. Toronto.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they got some pitching that's coming too. You know, Manoah is got some real talent, and there's no doubt going to be some great things in the future for this team.
Yankees lose. Musso's in a good mood. That is a given. Tyler, you've seen a lot of the Colorado Rockies lately. What do you think of over 8 Colorado Rockies at the Phillies tonight?
I actually have the Philly. You talking about like team totals there?
Yes,
like
the team
over?
total. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going. So Ranger Suarez for the Phillies has been very, very good, and he's got like a 1.4 ERA. I actually picked him up to start him tonight. I'm a believer that he's going to take care of business against the Rockies. I have the Phillies -1.5 running through the Rockies later tonight, and part of that reason being because there is no Ryan McMahon in the lineup. He's sitting against lefties. This team has not played that great without him. So I have Philly -1.5, and I actually think the under is in play as much as the over. I would prefer the under there for me.
Good matchup tonight between the Dodgers and the Cardinals, two teams that, again, you have a lot of knowledge about. The Dodgers are favored in this one by 1.5 on the run line. What are your thoughts on Dodgers at Cardinals?
Currently, it is 2-1 Cardinals, I believe, in the 7th inning, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, that one's in progress already.
Yeah, that
Live
game's
bet.
already rolling along.
There you
Live
go.
bet. Live bet.
Live bet. I'll tell you this. 2-1. Yeah, last time I checked, 2-1 Cardinals. I think the Dodgers could rally. If you want a live bet real quick, take the Dodgers to come back and grab a dub.
My bad.
All right, here we go.
Good audible there, Tyler. What are the rest of our plays in the world of Major League Baseball tonight?
Yeah, so we're going to take the Mets -1.5 tonight as well. On the mound is Taijuan Walker, great for a big chunk of the season. And then he took a little, Stroman. Marcus Stroman's on the hill. Got a sub-3 ERA. Yes, his record is 9-2, but he has been much, much better than that 9-12 record or 9-12 record indicates. So I have the Mets tonight -1.5, taking care of business. And also, as I mentioned, I have the Phillies -1.5, and then we are going with the Braves -1.5 as well with Yanoa on the hill. So those are my 3 picks for you guys tonight. Phillies -1.5, Braves -1.5, and then also the New York Mets -1.5.
Tyler Moody giving us some picks after going 3-0 last night. Continue to ride the wave and listen to this man. He very much knows his stuff. Tyler, thank you for the time. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and hope you have a great night.
Appreciate you, boys. I'll be more dialed in for you tomorrow, I promise.
Hey, man, 3-0 is pretty darn good to be dialed in, I think.
Stay just as dialed in as you are. Don't be any less dialed in, please. Just keep doing what you're doing. Tyler Moody giving us a few minutes here on Early Line.
Absolutely, man. So tomorrow's show, Mario, we'll have our college football picks as our normal picks. They can be underdogs. They can be money line, over, under, spread, whatever you really want it to be. We will talk about what we're looking for from both LSU as they go into their second week. You know, it's kind of funny up on CST in the studio right now. Well, actually, it might not be anymore, but before they were showing a lot of features on the West Florida Argonauts who beat McNeese State in week number 1. And, of course, we'll give final thoughts as the Saints prepare to pack up and head to Jacksonville, Florida for a home game against the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be a good show tomorrow.
That's coming up on Friday's Early Line. For now, stay tuned for After Further Review with Matt Moscona. That's coming up next here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.